In May, I had the privilege and the honor of opening up for George White, the speaker, and finally, I'm dropping the video today. I just want to say thank you for saying yes, you're an inspiration. Sure. Secondly, man, you a marketing genius.
When you was speaking, I was back there, man. You touched me. This your calling, you already know. I ain't got to confirm for you already know. And this won't be the last time. We got some more cities and state to cut up in. We just getting started. So stay intentional, stay consistent. We gonna keep growing.
Houston, Texas, Talk That Talk World Tour. Got my boy Gino with Impress Media on it. You don't want to miss it. We got a great lineup of speakers I'm excited about today. Make sure you're there.
Give it up for Swan, give it up for Swan, give it up for Swan. Man, so I have the honor of introducing our next speaker, man. This is somebody that I actually grew up with. It's my younger cousin, actually. And he's a powerful, powerful, inspirational speaker. I'll share this quick story. When we were kids, we grew up kind of different. You know, like my dad's a pastor, my grandfather's a pastor, so we grew up in church. And so, like, while other little kids was riding bikes and doing all this stuff, we was playing church. Like, we was playing church. We was having like fake church services. And so all of us had these different things. And my sisters would do like songs and they would sing, and I would act like the usher and all that stuff. But this next speaker that I'm bringing up, since he was like 4 years old, took the mic and said, I'm a speaker, I'm a preacher. And so I want y'all to give it up for this powerful, anointed speaker, DeAndre J. Lacy.
Houston, Texas, if you're excited to be in the building, let me hear you make some noise. I want y'all to do me a huge favor. When I count to 3, I want y'all to say, talk that talk, George. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do one more thing for me. When I count to 3, I want y'all to say, turn them up, George. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, y'all do me a huge favor. If you have a kid, you're a parent, you're a guardian, or in your line of work, you work with children, raise your hand. All right, now keep your hand up if the kids you work with or deal with are 5 or under. All right, let's give them a hand. They doing God's work. Let's give them a hand. That's tough. That's tough. So speaking of kids, I have my sons here. His name's Josiah. He's going to be 2 in June. Any June birthdays in the house? Any June birthdays in the house? All right, all right. And so what I like about this age and this life is he's starting to be able to communicate with me better. And so the other day somebody asked me, what is his favorite color? I want y'all to take a few guesses. What do y'all think it is? Blue. Blue? Red? I don't know. We ain't talked about that yet. But one thing that I do know is that his favorite animal is the elephant. So my wife and I decided to take him to the zoo. He had a blast. We bought one of them overpriced stuffed animals that they sell. And then at home, we found out they have elephant documentaries, and this boy really sits up there and watches them. He just be like, elephant, elephant. But anyway, so that reminds me of a story I want to tell y'all. So it's this man that was at a safari, and he was walking past, and he stopped because he saw a certain animal. And what animal do y'all think it is? Is somebody listening, right? So he saw the elephant, but he stopped because it didn't make sense to him. As massive and as powerful as these elephants were, there were no cages, there were no chains, there were no gates, yet they didn't try to escape. If you need a cross-reference, raise your hand if you've seen Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. You know, You Gonna Eat That Cornbread, that movie? Well, in that movie, they say, welcome to Camp 8. We don't need no fences. You see right there, we got that gun line. That's the type of time they was on, right? So this big, powerful elephant, look how small that rope is. He was like, it doesn't make sense. How do y'all get these giant elephants to be contained by this tiny rope? He said, this is what we do when they're young. We tie them up with the rope because at that time, it's strong enough to hold them. And as they grow older, they've been conditioned to believe that they can't move from their ropes, so they don't even try. Somebody, come on, somebody, are you listening to what I'm saying? Now, how many of us are like those elephants because of our past? We've been conditioned to believe a lie. Because we failed one time, we don't want to try again. Maybe because we've never seen anybody do what we've done before, we think that we can't do it. How many of us have settled for a life, settled in a relationship, settled for even where we live or how we think because of what happened to us in our past and when we were younger? My name is DeAndre J. Lacy, and I believe everybody here has a purpose and is here for a purpose. Repeat after me. I am not an accident. I am here for a purpose. Look at somebody next to you and tell them, you are not an accident. You are here for a purpose. So in order to find the title of this is 3 Keys to Unlocking Your Purpose. Okay? And we're going to talk about these 3 things today. The first is identifying your values. The second thing that I'm going to talk about is identifying your gift, because everybody in here has a gift. And the last thing that we're going to discuss is choose a problem that you're going to solve. All right? And so in order to facilitate the process of understanding what your values are basically the foundational beliefs that guide your life. Your values are the foundation you build your life on. Your values are what simplify any decision that you make. The first thing you must ask yourself is, what's priceless to me? What's not for sale? Drip for sale. I got drip for sale, but my respect is not for sale. My faith is not for sale. My integrity is not for sale. Values are how you spend your money and how you spend your time. Now, these are tough because oftentimes when we check the bank statements, we check our screen time, we check the way we've been spending our time, it actually doesn't reflect what we really value. But it's still important that we look at it because we need to self-assess and say, hey, if I say I value God, am I giving? If I say I value my family, but I'm constantly working, am I really living out my values? And that's double-mindedness. And any time that you say you value one thing, but you don't do the other, you begin to not trust yourself. And when you can't trust yourself, you can't trust anybody else. And that begins to hinder you. And the last thing that you must ask yourself is, what ticks me off? What makes me angry? If you are upset anytime somebody's late, then you value time. If you get upset anytime that people lie, then you value honesty. See, people get it twisted. They think love and hate are opposites. Love and hate run parallel. Hate is just bruised love. The opposite of love is indifference. Let me say that one more time. Somebody missed that. The opposite of love is indifference. I know we've all had a coach who said, you should be concerned when I stop talking to you. You should be concerned when I don't say nothing. See, if you hate when people are getting beat on by the police, that means you value social justice. If you hate when people are abused, when young children are abused, you value the next generation. Show me what a man hates, and I can see what he loves. Show me what somebody hates, and I know what you value. This is what you got to ask yourself. If I see a problem, and I'm the only one upset about it, that means I'm the change that I've been waiting for. So, I'm going to ask y'all a question. How many of y'all have ever seen one of these? This is an easy button. There was a certain organization that had an ad campaign in which the people on the commercial, they would push this button and any office supplies they needed would magically appear. They would push this button and all the problems they needed were solved. And that sounds silly, right? I push this button, ain't nothing happening. But how many of us are sitting here waiting for the easy button in life? We're clicking this waiting. You know, when the kids grow up, I'm going to start their business. When things settle down, I'm going to go back to the gym. You know, when this COVID stuff is over, I'm going to get started with my vision. But guess what? That happened 3 years ago. We're waiting for an easy button. We're believing that there's going to be some perfect time. But I came to tell you, there is no perfect time. The time is now. The time to start your business is now. The time to start your business was really yesterday, but the best time is today. We can't keep waiting for the mythical perfect time because it doesn't exist. One of the most profound books I've ever read was Soar by T.D. Jakes. And he said something. For my note takers, you need to write this down. God makes trees. He doesn't make chairs. He doesn't make furniture. What does that mean? See, God knew that one day we would need the chair. God knew that one day we would need the furniture. God knew we would need specific items. He just gave us the raw materials because he made in us the ability to create. And so he knew that if we follow him, he would give us the vision to create with what he gave us. What is the raw material that he gave you? Your gifts. But what is your gift? Because that's a difficult thing, because for me, most of my life, I grew up thinking I didn't have a gift. Your gift is the thing you do with the absolute best with the least amount of effort. And because I never thought that I had a gift, it really was I was in the wrong environments. I never had an outlet for what I was good at, so that made me think that I didn't have anything to offer. That's why I can relate to Nipsey Hussle. When he said, no, he a genius, he just can't claim it because they left him no platforms to explain it. If you're in the wrong environment, you're going to feel less than because you're not in a place where people draw out the best in you. But everybody in this room has a gift. Everybody in this room has something that, just like a bird doesn't have to learn how to fly, a fish doesn't have to learn how to swim. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's going to feel stupid. And I just came to tell somebody that's feeling discouraged, maybe you just need to change your circle. Maybe you just need to change your environment. Just maybe a quick move like that will reveal what you have inside of you. And this is the tricky thing about gifts. You're normally the last person to see it. Anybody ever been on a weight loss journey? And when you're on that, hey, thank you for being real, thank you for being real. And when you on that journey, sometimes you have this imposter syndrome because when you start making progress, people are like, man, you looking good. And the first few times you hear that, you're like, man, they just gassing me up. But you see yourself every day. You don't see those small changes. You are really losing weight. You are really doing well. You are really looking good. But you're seeing yourself every day. You don't see it. Your gift is such a part of you. It's almost like breathing. You live with it so much it becomes normal. You don't see it. But when you walk in the room, they see it. When you grab that mic, they see it. When you sing that song, they see it. When you cook their food, they feel it. You don't because you live with it every day. You're the last one to see it. So these are the questions you can ask yourself if you're having trouble identifying your gift. Number one, we talked about it already. What can I do better than everybody else with the least amount of effort? When you do something and everybody big upping you on it, and you like, I mean, that ain't that big of a deal, that's your gift. Because see, some people, do y'all know the greatest fear for most people is doing what I'm doing right now? There's some people out here, if I said give you a microphone right now and just come up, who would do it? A lot of y'all wouldn't. For me, that's nothing. If somebody told me I had to speak in 5 minutes, that's cool. That's just what I do. All right? But if somebody asked me to sing, that's something else. I ain't going to do that. You got to stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. It ain't no traffic in your lane now. All right? What energizes you? See, it don't matter if I got 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, 1 hour of sleep. If you ask me to do this, I get energy from doing this. One of the biggest misconceptions is we think being an introvert and an extrovert is hating people and not liking people. No, what an extrovert and an introvert is where do you get your energy from? When you need to recharge, do you go home and go by yourself, or do you want to go out and be around people? That's the only difference. It's not. So your gift is just like that. When you're doing what you love, even though it takes effort, it almost gives you energy to do it. It gives you life. That's how you know it's your gift. And finally, what would you do for free? Now, I'm not telling you to do it for free. But what I'm saying is, repeat after me, money follows mastery. Money follows mastery. We want money, but we haven't mastered anything. And Atomic Habits says, work hard at what comes easy. Come on, somebody, you better write that down. Work hard at what comes easy. If God has already given you an innate ability to do it, and you put work on top of that, then you become great. Work hard at what comes easy. What would you do for free? Because if you keep doing it for free long enough, the money gonna find you. Unfortunately, often your problem and your purpose are wrapped in pain. Now, I'm going to do something. I want everybody, if you need to close your eyes, do it, but imagine a young person that you care about. It could be your child. It could be someone you mentor. It doesn't matter. Just picture in your mind a young person you love. Now, imagine that you just dropped them off at they're coming from their baseball game, their after school activity, whatever it is they do. They're walking down the street, and a person strikes them with a car from behind. Imagine their body flying 125 feet in the air. When they land, their body is so mutilated that they can't even donate their organs. That's how bad it is. And then the person, when they wake up, they drive off. Now, just to add more fuel to the fire, imagine that this person had just got out of jail 2 days ago for hitting somebody else while they were drinking. And just to make it even worse, imagine that this person, this was their 5th time doing this in 4 years. Well, guess what? For Candy Lightner, the mother of Carrie Lightner, they didn't have to imagine this because this actually happened to them. That daughter, this picture was taken 3 hours before they died. Imagine dropping your son off at his football game not knowing that this is the last time you see him because somebody was drinking and driving. How would that make you feel? Mad, right? But guess what? Your pain has a purpose. 4 days after this incident and 1 day after her funeral, when she realized that the person that did this to her daughter was gonna get off with no jail time, she got mad. But she made an acronym out of it, MADD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And through her efforts, through her pain, she got the laws of drinking raised from 18 to 21. She got laws put in place where people were held accountable. See, we forget that now it's just normal. We live in this world, but there were once no laws for this. People were out here killing people and getting away with it, no jail time. And on top of that, before her child was hit, she has other children. She has another daughter that was rear-ended by a DUI driver when she was 18 months and injured her daughter. And she had a son before this happened who had permanent brain damage because somebody hit him while he was playing in the yard. I don't know why you went through what you went through. But guess what? When we going through what we going through, we want somebody that's been where we've been. We don't want somebody that's never lost a child to console us. We don't want nobody that's never been through a divorce to console us. How is it that we always want somebody that's been through it, but none of us want to go through it? I don't know why God had you deal with the things you had to deal with growing up. I don't know why God made you the way he made you, but I do know that he did it intentionally, and I do know that your pain has a purpose. Everybody repeat after me. My pain has a purpose. My pain is a compass to my purpose. My pain is a compass to my destiny. The way that I can talk with the passion that I talk through is because of what I've been through. This is real for me. Like I said earlier, your problem may not be that tragic. But what they tell you to do is when it's an emergency, they say, hey, you call 911. Why? Because we all running around. We assume what? That somebody else gonna do it. It's time for you to do it. I don't know what it is for you. I don't know what the problem is for you. I don't know what the issue is for you. But when you're looking around and you're upset about something, and you're the only one, guys, we got to do something about this. You're the one that's supposed to change it. Your purpose is the ability to utilize your gift in service to others without violating your values. That's the secret sauce. See, all these people that you see that are rich and miserable, they know what their gift is. They know how to serve others, but they have violated their values in the process. That means you got to say no sometimes. Every gig, it don't matter what the dollar sign is. You might have to say, you know what, I know you paying this, but my daughter got a recital. I can't do that. I know this is what the pay is, but I got to go to church. You got to know where you draw the line in the sand, because what's worse than not having success and being miserable the whole time. So, what I gave you guys was the ingredients, but in order to do the recipe, you gotta know how to put it together. I believe everybody in here, before this year is over, you need to put the purpose of your life in one sentence. Somebody should be able to ask you, why are you here? And you can tell it to them in one sentence. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. The first thing is you gotta have a vision. What is your vision? How would the world change for the better if you started using your gift to help others? What would the world look like if you started operating in your purpose? And your mission is what is the specific strategy that you're going to put into place to create that vision. So I'm going to share my personal vision and mission statement with you guys. My vision is to inspire people to discover and operate in their God-given purpose, because I truly believe each and every one of you in the audience has a purpose. You were put here more than just to pay bills and die. You have something that's in you that nobody else can do but you. And even if somebody does something similar, who's been in a grocery store before? Who's eaten bread before? Now, next time you go to the grocery store, count how many different types of bread there is. Go back in 2 weeks. It's like 30 different brands of bread. You think it'd only be 2. I mean, you can make a sandwich with it. Why we need Wonder Bread? Why we need whole grain? Why we need wheat? Guess what? Even if somebody speaks like you, I don't speak like George, but I got to stay in my lane. Don't be discouraged just because somebody else do it. They don't do it the way that you do it. My mission is to share wisdom in various forms of media to educate and empower people. As long as I'm doing that, I know I'm living in my purpose. Now, pop quiz. When you think of wealth, when you think of things that are rich, what's a place in the world that you think of? Just call it out. Where's the richest place that you think is on earth? Don't be shy. Hollywood, thank you. Saudi Arabia, Dubai. One more. Somebody. Guess what? All of y'all wrong. You know where the richest place is? The graveyard. Because there are so many songs that were never written. There are so many businesses that were never started. There were so many speeches that were never told. There were so many things that you know that God called you to do, but we let fear, we let our childhood, we let our background, we let all these lies from the enemy stop us from doing what God told us to do. So there are so many things that people died inside of them, but you can't take it with you. You got to leave it behind. We talked about knowing your values. That's the key. That's the foundation you build your life on. If you build it on the wrong foundation, it's all going to crumble down. Identify your gift. You're gifted. And you got to solve a problem or offer a product or service to this world. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. See, we can't be afraid to fail. So something I like to say is fail faster, succeed sooner. Repeat after me. Fail faster, succeed sooner. Your failure is not final. Say, my failure is not final. My failure is not fatal. My failure fuels me. Y'all know what failure is? Just data on how you improve yourself. That's all it is. Get in the film room, see what you got to fix, and keep doing it. Just because you failed, that doesn't mean you're supposed to stop. Now, this crisis we have in the world, as I close, the only way to fill that void, it ain't with alcohol, it ain't with partying, it ain't with getting high, it's to figure your purpose out and start walking in it, because even before the money and the success comes, you're going to get life from just doing it. But I promise you, if you're doing what God has anointed you to do, He's going to make room for you. So I want to leave you guys with this. And I want y'all to repeat after me. We don't build lives we have to escape. We make intentional decisions to create a life we cannot wait to wake up and experience. You've been a great audience. Thank you very much.
Anybody else got anything for believe? Oh, yeah.
I just want to thank you, man. My cousin told me about you when y'all first got connected, and I hadn't been speaking for 2 years. I was going through a lot, but kind of like you said, you need to isolate yourself. I didn't really know what God was doing. I felt like I shouldn't be doing it anymore. But just hearing him talk about you, I started posting again. And then that was like December or whenever that was. And then like February, this lady I had met like over a year ago, told me she gonna bring me out, never heard from her. Went out, started posting on TikTok, started with 4 followers, and I got like 500 right now. And one of my videos got like 47,000 views, but it's all God. So I just started with nothing. And then obviously you gave me this opportunity to be with you today, but I started just being inspired by witnessing what you do. And then finally, God gave me this vision, like people from Palestine, from my area, like I felt like we have a lot of talent, like why don't we ever get together and do something? Like everybody that did something today was from that area. Like I know if God gives you a vision, it's going to be true, so keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it. Hey, listen. When you was speaking, I was back there, man. You touched me. This your calling. You already know. I ain't got to confirm for you. Already know. And this won't be the last time. We got some more cities and state cut up in. We just getting started. So stay intentional, stay consistent. We gonna keep growing.
What's up? It's your new favorite author, DeAndre J. Lacy. And I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day and watching this video. If you haven't already, do me a huge favor and go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. See you next time.